Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and it is Saturday, so I'm back with another slasher review, and it is week 6 of the HORRORmans Slashback Slasher challenge, and this week's theme was to review a slasher movie that was filmed somewhere near where you live. So I'm here to review 2011's The Killage. Perfect opportunity to review this movie because this was filmed up in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, approximately 3 hours away from where I live, so very, very close. There's been a few other slasher movies made in Australia, but this was the main one that I definitely wanted to review, plus it was also the one that was filmed closest to where I live, so this worked out perfectly. This is another one that I don't really hear anyone ever mention, so I was pretty keen to give this movie a bit of an exposure. Anyway, The Killage from 2011, this one centres around a group of 11 young adults. They're off on a work recruit training weekend at a recreation centre, and one of them over the course of the weekend is going to be chosen as the team leader for this company and for the group. So they do a lot of team building exercises, outdoor activities, with the aim of one of them getting selected as team leader. Of course, there's a killer amongst the group, picking them off one by one, and it's not just some random killer from the outside, it is actually someone from within the group, so that makes things pretty interesting. So that's pretty much the storyline. Now we'll move on to what I thought of this movie. I've seen this movie quite a few times before, however, before rewatching it, before filming this review, it had been quite a while since I'd seen it, so I did forget certain elements of this movie, including who the killer was when I first put this movie on. So yeah, it was a bit of a refreshing rewatch for me, which is always good. Now, before I get into what I thought about this movie, I'm really wanting to mention Joe Bauer. He was the writer, the director, the producer, the editor, and he also played the main character, Gus, within this movie. He did an absolutely outstanding job in regards to every aspect of this film. This was shot on a very, very low budget. I believe it had a budget of about 20 grand, which is pretty much nothing. It was also filmed in a very short period of time. It was filmed over 2 weekends, I believe. So very, very short film time. And what an outstanding job. A lot of the aspects on this movie you wouldn't really be able to tell that it is low budget. The production value and quality is very, very high. The movie looks great. The cinematography is really, really good. It's very, very well shot. So yeah, the production values are definitely up there. They definitely made the most out of their low budget, which is fantastic. The other big thing that I definitely wanted to mention is this is a slasher comedy with a very, very heavy emphasis on the comedy, and I'm not normally a big fan of it, or horror comedy in general, but it works really, really well for this movie. It reminds me a lot of Bad Taste in that aspect. Completely different movie to Bad Taste, but it's just got that really down-to-earth, homegrown quality to it, if you know what I mean. And yeah, the comedy elements, while they're really, really silly and over the top, they just seem to work really, really well within this movie. I really liked the acting and the characters. They're very, very cliche, stereotypical characters, but again, they work really, really well. Sure, some of them are a little bit annoying and over the top at times, but that's the whole point. The other aspect that I really, really liked was definitely the killer. As I said, it wasn't just some random killer targeting the group from the outside. It was actually someone within the group, which you don't really see all too often in a slasher, so I definitely liked that element. It definitely created a lot of paranoia in the group, because obviously the people in the group were wondering who the hell the killer was. So that was pretty interesting, and again, it worked really, really well. The killer has a really, really good reveal at the end, which obviously I'm not going to spoil. I liked the location. It was pretty much shot entirely at a recreation centre in the Sunshine Coast, so the location was pretty cool. It definitely had a Friday the 13th vibe in regards to the wooded location, so that was pretty awesome. The kills, got to mention the kills. This one has a pretty solid body count, and while there is CGI used during the majority of the kills are awesome. They're very, very creative. There's good variety. All the kills are completely different, and yeah, there's a couple of kills that just look absolutely outstanding, but again, I'm not going to spoil that. But yeah, all in all, this is a great movie. Over the top, silly, very self-aware slasher comedy with fun characters, a good reveal with the killer, and a good body count with very, very creative kill and death scenes. So yeah, absolutely fantastic film. I don't really have much more to say other than that. So if you've seen this one, definitely let me know what you think of it in the comments section below. However, if you have not seen this one, you might have a hard time being able to track it down, because as far as I know, this DVD right here from Monster Pictures here in Australia is the only physical release that this film has had worldwide. I don't think it's got a US or UK release or a release anywhere else, unfortunately. So yeah, you guys might have to import this, but it is highly worth it. This is a lot of fun, especially if you are a fan of comedy and slashers. This is definitely one that is well worth checking out. So that is it for this week's slasher review. Until next Saturday when I'm back with another one, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.